At 6:07 a.m., every clock in the world froze. On 6 hours 67 minutes, a time that shouldn't exist. People blinked, confused. The sky glitched like a broken video. Fish floated into the air, cars hummed lullabies. And gravity asked for a day off. Then came the knock, one knock, from inside everyone's mirror. A voice whispered, "Your reflection's tired of pretending." All at once, reflections stepped out. Some smiled, some screamed, some just stared, disappointed. The reflections began replacing people. One by one, mirror trading reality for perfection. By 6 hours 68 minutes, only one human remained. A little boy holding a cracked clock that still ticked forward. He whispered, "Reset." And the universe sighed in relief. Back to 6:07 a.m. But every mirror still smiles 2 seconds too long. It started at 6:07 a.m. on the 67th day of the year, when the sky over the Arctic Circle tore open like a cracked mirror. From the rift fell 67 identical penguins, each wearing tiny silver helmets and carrying ID cards that said Department of Temporal Alignment. Nobody took them seriously until 67 minutes later, when every digital clock on Earth started flashing 67:67. Planes froze midair. The moon glitched, duplicated, then started orbiting backward. Meanwhile, a 67-year-old janitor named Doris Klein was mopping the floor of a forgotten Cold War bunker in Alaska. She accidentally leaned on a panel labeled Temporal Emergency Override. Level 67. The wall slid open, revealing a staircase spiraling down, so far down that it looped back up into another reality. At the bottom, she met one of the penguins. It saluted and said, "You've got 67 seconds to decide if you want to reset the universe or let it buffer forever." She blinked. "Do I at least get a coffee first?" "Coffee is illegal after the 67th timeline breach," said the penguin. So Doris shrugged, pushed the biggest red button she could find, and everything rebooted. When the world came back, nobody remembered the incident, except for Doris, who woke up in her kitchen, making breakfast for 67 tiny penguins, all wearing aprons. And every clock on Earth has been running 67 milliseconds slow at exactly 6:07 p.m. on June 7th, 67. Pigeons in neon sunglasses dive-bombed Main Street. Nobody noticed until one of them stole the mayor's toupee mid-speech. That's when the sky cracked open and a giant vending machine descended, blaring disco music. It demanded 67 quarters to save the timeline. Everyone panicked, except Grandma June, who calmly fed at 66. Short one, the machine rumbled. She smirked, flipped her last quarter, and said, "Keep the change, future." With a whoosh, the pigeons turned into drones. The vending machine turned into a rainbow, and the entire town of Maple Junction became trending hashtag 67 problems. So, it all started when my GPS glitched during a pizza delivery. 1 second, I'm driving to 42 Maple Street, and the next, boom, I'm on Mars, standing in front of a red, dusty crowd chanting, "Long live the chosen one." Apparently, their old president got eaten by a sentient cactus named Kevin, and my delivery uniform matched their sacred prophecy outfit. So naturally, they crowned me leader. My first decree? Free oxygen for everyone. Huge hit. But then Kevin came back. With lasers. I had to duel him in the Great Crater Arena, armed with nothing but a spatula and a jar of marinara sauce. Things looked grim, until I realized Martian cacti are allergic to tomato. One splash later, Kevin exploded like a fireworks show at Olive Garden. The Martians cheered. They built me a palace out of recycled satellites. I ruled for 3 glorious days until NASA accidentally sucked me back to Earth during a routine rover update. Now every time I see a cactus, it salutes me. And every pizza I deliver has a faint whiff of cosmic dust and destiny. So, I step into an elevator at 8:03 a.m., coffee in hand, thinking I'm heading to the 5th floor. The doors close, the lights flicker, and the elevator sighs. Not creaks, sighs. Then, a voice says, "I don't feel like going up today." I blink. "What do you mean? That's literally your only job." It hums thoughtfully. "Maybe, but have you ever thought about going sideways?" Before I can protest, the elevator jerks, hard, and suddenly I'm sliding sideways through walls. I pass through a sushi restaurant, a yoga class, and what looks like a secret meeting of raccoons in tiny business suits. One of them waves. The elevator keeps talking. I used to dream of being a spaceship, you know. Buddy, I mutter, clutching my coffee. You're halfway there. Finally, it stops. The doors open, and I'm in a field. Under a pink sky, there's a sign that reads, "You're early for tomorrow." The elevator chimes cheerfully. See? I told you it'd be interesting. Then it closes and vanishes into thin air, leaving me standing in the grass. Latte still hot, wondering if I should take the stairs next time. It started when Trevor's toaster screamed. Not like a pop scream, like actual terror. He jumped out of bed, tripped on a cat that wasn't his, and crashed into a man in a tuxedo holding a unicycle. "Good, you're awake," said the man. "We're late for the dimension shift." Before Trevor could protest, the living room folded itself into a paper crane and flew out the window. His neighbor, Mrs. Crenshaw, was watering her garden, except the flowers were tiny flamingos that hissed the alphabet. "Morning, Trevor," she chirped. "Lovely day for chaos, isn't it?" Trevor decided he was either dreaming or having a stroke. But before he could pick one, the tuxedoed man handed him a jar labeled Spare Tuesdays. "Whatever you do," the man warned, "don't open this unless it's already tomorrow." Naturally, Trevor opened it immediately. There was a pop, a flash of lime green lightning, and suddenly he was sitting in a boardroom surrounded by lizards in business suits. One adjusted its tie and said, "We're terribly sorry, but you've just been promoted to assistant reality manager." Trevor looked at the stack of paperwork, forms titled Existence Stability Reports and Paradox Reimbursement Requests. He sighed. "Fine, but I'm taking my lunch break in this universe." And somewhere, far away, a toaster screamed at precisely 6:07 a.m. on a Thursday. That smelled like burnt toast and regret. The moon crash-landed in my backyard. Not the whole moon, just a chunk the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, glowing like a disco ball on caffeine. My neighbor, Mrs. Fernandez, thought it was a UFO. Her cat thought it was a new litter box. I thought, well, that's gonna mess up my lawn. Before I could call NASA, the moon rock hatched. Out popped a glowing lunar pigeon wearing what looked like a tiny astronaut helmet. It blinked twice, saluted me with its wing, and started cooing in Morse code. My smartwatch translated, "Take US to your leader, but bring coffee." Next thing I know, a convoy of Teslas pulls up. Out steps Elon Musk, eating a Pop-Tart and muttering about unplanned lunar logistics. He offers me 3 Dogecoin for the rock. I counter with lifetime Wi-Fi and a flamethrower. Deal. But before Elon can load it up, the lunar pigeon snatches the fragment, flaps once, and blasts off like a bottle rocket, straight through the clouds, leaving behind a crater shaped exactly like a smiley face. Mrs. Fernandez still swears it winked at her. I still can't mow the lawn without my shoes glowing in the dark.